Hello everyone, I'm Duke James. This is Fez 3.0. My ruler died. I can't remember who it was, but I made him a general and I was drilling my troops in the hopes of killing him because my heir is a 544 and my queen was a 6-2 something. What was she? It says it somewhere. I think she was a 6-2 something, or a 6-4-3 or something. But anyway, so she is now in charge until my child becomes 15, I believe, is the date. And my son, my heir, is a 544. So that is actually two nice rulers compared to the usual 6 total monarch power rulers we've been having in the past. These guys are a breath of fresh air. This the queen is also a lawgiver, so she gives a little bit of stability increase interval and monthly autonomy change 0.025 reduction, so that's nice. So I'm going to do a new alignment, but first I'm going to do some stuff with the estates. So I can do a reform right now. I can do right of commerce 6 to 7, but I'm actually going to take a moment and do this, free the peasantry. I don't think I did this at all in my Fez campaign, because I think my executive authority always sucked. So while my executive authority right now is pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and do this, because this gives 0.5 monthly peasant freedom, 10% rural production, and 2 base welfare. So that is pretty powerful, I'd say. Let's see, which one is that? Tenancy? Yeah, so tenancy right now. Dispassionate peasantry, yep. So tenancy right now gives -1 base welfare. So that is a... Base welfare should be +1. We'll get 10% rural production, which is huge. And then 0.5 monthly peasant freedom every month. So peasant freedom should tick up. I think with that peasant freedom being 0.5 monthly, I should be able to start doing the overlook tenant abuse support, because that gives plus 10 relations between the aristocrats and the state. So that gives double what the other two supports do in terms of relations between the aristocrats and the state, and then 5 noble loyalty in exchange for 0.1% times noble power monthly peasant freedom. So their power is 0.5 or 58%, so that should be -0.58 a month. So if I do that, it should drop peasant freedom. But if I wait a couple years, I should make up for that increase, something like that. If I wait a little bit before doing this, peasant freedom should reach 100, so it'll probably stay in the 90s then, because the freedom in the north is 80% and the peasant freedom in the south is even higher than that, around 90%. So, and I believe that is done by regions. So all the provinces in the north are 80% and all the ones in the south are 90% pretty much, or close to it. So let's go ahead and do that. Free the peasantry. The nobility will be angry, -3. So the nobles are going to lose 40 loyalty, 3 hierarchy, and -40 relations between the aristocrats and the state. So to make up for that, I'm going to go ahead and do... I'm going to do employ an aristocratic statesman. According to viewer Mega VHS, I think they said this one... If you do this one, you don't have to worry about the influence of factions. So I could do like burghers, support them, then I wouldn't have to worry about their influence level, which is particularly helpful for the bureaucrats. The aristocrats always have influence. And spiritualists, actually I don't really have any reforms I don't have anything to really do with them because they're pretty weak right now as it is. I'm not going to actually do anything with them. Because their max reforms, 0 is good for them, 3 is good for me. So they're all at 3 already. There's nothing I can do to weaken them. So I'm not doing anything with them. And the chiefs don't have anything over here in terms of reforms or privileges. So I'm not really doing anything with them. It's really just the bureaucrats and possibly the metropolitans, but I'm doing metropolitans right now, so it's really just the bureaucrats that would matter for. But that does actually reduce the other faction's opinions of you. Right now, the bureaucrats like me. They're at 32. The chiefs and spiritualists I don't even care about, since they're pretty weak. And the metropolitans are pretty much maxed at 96. And the aristocrats, of course, this benefits them, so they don't care. So I can go ahead and do this right now. That's why I don't normally do it, because everybody else hates that. Plus, this also gives a little bit of power. But it gives plus 20 noble loyalty in exchange for 1.25% power. And interestingly, if you do the support, if you do the, the leverage to demote greater nobility, this costs 25 noble loyalty, but it reduces their power by 5%. So you could pretty much give this. This also gives plus 10 relations between the aristocrats and the state. So it costs 1.25% power, but it gives 20 noble loyalty plus 10 relations between the aristocrats and the state. And then doing demote only costs an additional 5 noble loyalty, and you get rid of 4.75% of their power. So you can pair those up together, and they pretty much cancel each other out. And the nobility would become really weak. You would just lose 5 noble loyalty, but you would also gain plus 10 relations between the aristocrats and the state, at the cost of a lot of stability, because these both reduce stability. So that is the actual main big thing right there, stability. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do this. So they gain 20% loyalty. Yeah, that reduced the metropolitans by 50. Spiritualists and chiefs are now negative as well. Bureaucrats dropped to 12. Aristocrats went up to 42. So I believe the bureaucrats dropped... I think the spiritualists, chiefs, and bureaucrats dropped by 20. Metropolitans dropped by 50. I wonder if that has to do with their influence. Because the metropolitans dropped a lot more compared to the spiritualists, chiefs, and bureaucrats. Alright, so I'm going to do this. Also, their loyalty is now down to 43%, so I'm going to go ahead and hold grand celebrations. This costs 185 ducats, but I'll get back 5 of that noble loyalty as well. Before I do overlook tenant abuse, I want to see if the peasants do gain 0.5% a month. And then the other reforms... expire... This one expires, okay, next year, and this one expires next year as well. Actually, within a year. So then I can go ahead and do those and get that nobility up even more. Alright, so let's do a new alignment. It's either doing a new alignment at the cost of 50% progress, or... everybody hates me, so yeah, let's do a new alignment. Everybody's gonna hate me anyway, but... I'm gonna align with the metropolitans again. That's gonna drop the aristocrats in the state 10. But that's fine. grab these metropolitan advisors. They're all half price. Upgrade them to level 2. And then I also want to... Let's see, actually. What's my stability at now? Plus 34%. Yeah, so that's aristocratic pact plus 30%. Societal instability plus 15%. So that's what's doing that. What is causing that? Stability is definitely the biggest hindrance for me, which is why I want to get as many things that impact stability as possible. Here's one that the next bureaucracy idea actually decreases stability, increase interval by 10%, so that's nice. So if I had a little bit more stability, I think it's going to be trending down. It's actually close to 0. That's not bad, because I don't really have to worry about rebellions. So I'm going to go ahead and expand the bureaucracy. That'll give some state reach, plus 15 relations between the bureaucrats and the state. It's going to cost stability. Also, I think I can do taxes as well, and that gives corruption as well. So we're straddling 50 corruption for now, but that's alright. Let's go ahead and do tax relief, get back 50% of that. It'll probably trend down, though, because of that, what we just gave. I don't have to do promote and support commerce. I'd rather have that money now, actually. The farmlands in these provinces up here has gone negative now. I'm actually okay taking loans, because population increase is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do... $20 more ducats into those 2 provinces and 10 ducats in the other 2 provinces next to them. Because I like that pop growth. There's currently in this province 1.5 thousand births and 1,400 people migrating to that, plus the 400 or so tributes from my 2 tributaries, which I actually want to get a couple more in the south. And then this province has 1.2 natural change and 1.4 migrating to it as well. And that's about 1,000 in that other province, and 800 people migrating in this province, 754 people migrating out of it. I guess I didn't do investment in this province, so I'm going to go ahead and do... I'll do another 10 ducats into that province. And then this province, I think I built irrigation rank 3 in the past, but I think it might have ticked down. So let's see, irrigation rank 3, yeah. 68 ducats, I'm pretty sure that's right on the threshold for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and build that. I don't want to actually pay for 25% of that, though, because that's gonna be a lot more money than I think I need to pay. So I'll just top it off if it drops. And I believe I started in 1430 a 10-year plan for food. If I didn't, that's what it is now. It's the 1430 to 1440 food 10-year plan. If I didn't do it, then I've retroactively done it right now. The boost to rural production from freeing the peasantry should help out the production of food, salt, fuel, raw materials, fiber as well. So that should give a little boost, plus that irrigation and all of the investment that I've done in those provinces should help as well. So I was looking, Lansing, there's a country here that can be released, Champasak, so they control these, actually these 3 provinces, but I could give them these provinces. There's another country, Vientiane. The problem with releasing... I could carve these guys up into 3 countries, really. Lansing, Vientiane and Champasak. The problem is Ayutthaya could attack any one of those countries because I can't guarantee your ally tributaries, so it kind of leaves them open to attack. Lan Na is allied with enough people, and they have enough troops that they're not going to really be attacked by anybody, or they shouldn't be. So they're fine. I can warn Khmer. I can't warn Ayutthaya because I'm allied to them. So Champasak, I could get them to not border Ayutthaya. Right now, Lanzang is a tributary state of Khmer, so I'd have to get them to break with Khmer. I could also conquer all of their provinces in one war, because their war score is only 69%. And then release all three of those countries, and then break their vassalization, and then make them tributaries. Something like that. I at least want 2 tributaries. Maybe Champasak and then Lanzang, something like that. They don't cost slots, interestingly. So really, you're only limited by the how many countries you border in order of in regards to tributaries, because you can't make countries tributaries if you don't border them. Also, Xia conquered all of Liang, so that's unfortunate. The Bank of Liang has officially closed, and Xia apparently wants these 2 provinces, but they're not vital interests, so maybe they won't take those, because they could, Xia, if they wanted to, could attack Lingnan and conquer those provinces. Fortunately, I don't want my territories. I think head straight up, I could fight and defeat Xia. But if I do anything with them in terms of breaking with them, they're just going to get eaten by Song and Ming, and I might get eaten by Song. That would leave me open to attack to Song, who doesn't want my territory right now, but they might in the future. I don't trust them. If I could ally like Ming, I would break with Xia. The problem is I don't think I would get enough of a benefit versus Song and Ming just conquering their territories. They would get they'd be able to conquer more territories faster and get more of a benefit, since I can't actually conquer Xia's provinces. The most I would be able to do is get ducats, and the ducats war ups, transfer trade, sell some provinces back, but Song and Ming I think would take advantage and they would get more from Xia faster than I would. So I feel like I'm kind of stuck with them right now. Unless I can maybe ally Ming, but they think I'm too weak. So right now it's like this stalemate almost. Actually, I think the best thing would be to ally Yuan, because they have a lot of troops. They have 70,000 troops. They don't make money, but they have troops. If I could ally with them, then we could carve up Song. I think me and them against Song and Ming would be able to defeat them. Unfortunately, Song is also allied to Goryeo. But then Goryeo is only allied to Song. It's a weird, like, a détente situation over here. Because I can't attack Song. They're allied with Ming and Goryeo. That'd be way too many troops I'd have to fight. Even with Xia, I don't think we would stand much of a chance. Because Xia only has like 20,000 troops-ish. Mong Mao, no. And unfortunately, Xia has now cut me off from Mong Mao. But then Mong Mao is a tributary state of Bengal anyway, so... I can't do anything with them because they're too far away. So actually what I'm going to do is... I want to attack Lanzang. They're allied with Ayutthaya, so I can't attack them directly. Ayutthaya would join. I'd like to keep the alliance with Ayutthaya, at least for now. So I think I'm going to attack Malacca, Kulin, Ayutthaya. I'm going to try to take one of Malacca's territories, actually, because I could potentially make them a tributary. Possibly. Distance between borders is 42. Are not neighbors is 1,000. Neutral attitude. So if I can get them to like me. These guys are a vassal state of Nakhon Si Tamarit. No, wait, they have yeah, they have vassals. They're also a close tributary of Ayutthaya. So I can't do anything with these guys. So that would be my border with Malacca. Might just be able to sell provinces back to Malacca. They have 432 ducats. They're allied with this country over here and this country over here. Yeah, we should be able to do that actually pretty easily. I don't know if I'll be able to get military access through Khmer, but we'll see. Alright, and if you're wondering, sometimes if it's jumpy around the 1st, I try to skip January 1st, because that takes a little bit of time to go through it, but we have a core now in this province. So that is all of our provinces cored. And the stuff within nobles has expired, so let's go ahead and do that. Yield concessions. Disown and popular relative. Get them back to 65%. Peasant freedom in the north has increased by 3%, so I'm going to get that to 100%. And then I could pretty much start farming that support with the nobility, I'm thinking. Because the increase should really counteract the decrease. So that is a support that I should be able to do for the rest of the game. Actually, these guys will give me access. Yeah, you'll give me access. Alright, Ayutthaya, don't claim everything. I actually do want one of the, I want a vassal. I think, at the very least I can release a province down here as a country, although there's no... Okay, this country doesn't exist, so I will just release them as a vassal. Which, unfortunately, they would have more than one territory, but that's... because I wouldn't want them to have this, because it has the natural location. So that would just be a vassal with 2 territories instead of 1. Hey, why don't you give me access? It's very rude to not give me access. Make that a state, full courts. One of these... No, must not be. Okay. Global domain, I'm not doing that. Trade, engineering, professional... I wanted to do culture. Culture gives a little bit of stability increase interval. As I was mentioning before, +1 base diversion, some prestige, which is legitimacy, which is culture conversion resistance actually is pretty good. Academic district cost. I want to convert most of my culture in my country, so that would actually come in handy. Diplo rep is nice. Idea cost -5% is nice. That stuff's eh. But then I'm thinking free trade is actually better. Free trade gives trade power abroad and a diplo relation, ship trade power propagation, diplomatic rep, global institution spread, interest per annum, which is merchants from trade centers 25%, trade efficiency 10%, some yearly corruption reduction, trade power abroad, trade range, and trade steering. Pairs with economic, which I might do economic. Maybe empire as well, instead of economic. Economic gives pathing infrastructure costs -10%, material costs for projects -7%, because it's over here and over here for some reason. Some urban production efficiency and rural production efficiency, 2.5%, which is nice. Some inflation reduction, which selling provinces and getting ducats in gold in wars increases my inflation, interest per annum. I suppose if I stack interest per annum, it's pretty good to... It's loans are less worse. I wouldn't purposely take loans, but getting them wouldn't hurt that much. Knowledge output 10%. Empire gives some centralization, unjustified demands, change rival costs. That's kind of worthless for me, but it gives some monthly autonomy change, -0.05. Capital infrastructure costs, -10%. Elite power from autonomy, -10%. Maximum centralization +10. Yearly centralization 0.1, which is actually pretty nice. Stability increase interval, -10%. Definitely one of those. Because I'm probably not going to do humanist. Empire pairs up with espionage, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, espionage is pretty much just that diplomat, really. Liberty, desire, and subjects could be good if you have a ton of subjects. Most of this is garbage, though. Anyway. But I really like... That's administrative. I really like this urban production efficiency, rural production efficiency. And then this one also has a free policy, so I get the policy with free trade, which gives the yearly inflation reduction and admin efficiency +1%. Admin efficiency, I'm not conquering stuff, so that's not too huge, but a little bit of inflation reduction. But inflation right now is 12.47%, reducing by 0.12, so every amount helps. Because it costs 96 to reduce inflation by 1. I'm not going to be spending that much admin, though, because I'm not coring anything else, though, so it's not too huge of a thing, because I could just spend points if I have extra points to reduce that. So I fought a battle without even, without paying attention. You better not take that, Ayutthaya. Actually, to prevent them from boxing me out, I'm going to try to take... that stuff. I lose 5.5 ducats. I don't think they'll claim this for themselves. They better not. Those are really the only two provinces that I want, so they better not take them for themselves. Or I will write a strongly worded letter to Chakraphat II, Subhanaplum, Supanifum. Never mind, that's too much ink. I'd go bankrupt writing that guy's name. That must have been their strategy with these really long names. Nobody will write them anything if they just have a really long name. Oh wow, we're reducing corruption by 2 a year. That's even with a regency adding 0.2. Why is that? Why is corruption all of a sudden decreasing? My country just doesn't want to be corrupt anymore? Actually, it should be laws. Actually, laws increased. I think that was 10 or 12% a little bit ago, so that actually increased to 15%. Autonomy is dropping, and that was 1.3. So corruption should drop because autonomy is dropping. So that's good. What's going on in these places? Alright. Pretty sure this was 508,000 a year ago. So it should have gotten 4,000 people in this province. Nobody migrated out though. It's weird. It's commerce property. Commerce property, the income is positive. Okay, they gave it to me. Alright, let's take all of these people off. That is a level 1. Let's just give them the mercs. And the 3 siege dude. Move them down there so they don't die. Actually, let's take a merc over here. What is Malacca's religion? Theravada. Okay, so we're Mahayana. So I should be able to take their stuff. Probably could just take all their territory. Let's grab these undefended provinces. For the ducats. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna check a census. Industry. Okay, we now produce 1,180 units of food. So I think we dropped down to like 900 at 1.902, so we actually increased that by about 180, I think, unless my memory is wrong. Salt 130, so salt increased a little bit. Fiber 293, fuel 144. Fuel demand's gone up, I believe. Fuel production, raw material 197. Consumer goods ticked up from 59 to 60, so an additional 1 consumer good unit. according to this, there's actually people moving, peasants are moving out of my country, which is interesting because there's some provinces with good wages, so I don't know why they're moving out. They shouldn't be moving out. I'm gonna take this one for stability, which is now 0 and ticking up, so that's good. Zia conquered all of Dali as well. Let's go ahead and marry them now. Alright, I can't walk over here to Pasai. Let's see, truce. Oh yeah, they'd give me everything for a cool 90 aggressive expansion. The problem is I can't release them and then make them a tributary because I don't border them at that point. I'm gonna look at a peace deal. Alright, this is the peace deal that'll do something like this. These 3 provinces, I'll release this country here and give them Pahang. Because I really just want Pahang as a vassal, this one province right here. But there's no country with a core on that, so I'd have to release these guys to give them that. And then I'm going to take this one and just sell it back to them for some extra cash. And then Ducats, War Ups, Transfer Trade. The whole point of this was to fight Lanzang, though, so I'm going to have to attack them before because Ayatatha is allied with them.